Hey, listen, have you ever wondered how to break a deal down like a pro? I'm going to show you exactly what I did to make $10,000 on this wholesale deal. I'm going to walk you through it step by step. So hopefully after this video, you be ready to go out and get your deal and go make 10K. So as you see on my screen, I already got the address pulled up, right? So once I put the address in, I'm gonna go to details, right? Once I get to this screen, I'm gonna go to comparables and nearby listings. I look at the year, which is, this was a 1955 built house. I can't compare a 1955 built house to a house built in the year 2000. Totally different building codes. So therefore, I have to make sure everything else is already in line with this house. 1955, 1965, etc. Everything looks good from that aspect, right? But if it was a house that was built in 2000 there, then I can't use that one. Okay, then I'm gonna look at the square footage, 1,000 square feet, right? So all this is pretty much within, PropStream did a good job at just filtering all this. It's within 200 square feet or so. But I can't compare a house that's 1,000 square feet to a house of 1,500 square feet. That is a big difference. That 500 square feet means a lot. You know, you can do a very functional 3, 2.5 and 1,500 square feet. Okay, but in 1,000 square feet to 1,200, you could do a 3-2, but in these cases, these older houses, some of them not functioning. What do I mean by functioning? A functioning floor plan, meaning that a floor plan, whereas it fits the majority of buyers. Sometimes you'll go into the houses and then it say 3-bedroom, 1 bath on the tax card, but in order to get to that 3rd bedroom, you gotta walk through another bedroom, and you like, yo, no one's putting up with that if they gotta buy it in 2024. So therefore, as a flipper or rehabber, they're probably looking at it like, okay, well, I can change this to a master and make this a bathroom back here, because I've done it before, make it a bathroom / closet and combine these 2 rooms, and it'd be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house. Okay, you know, that sometimes work as a wholesaler. You don't have to get too deep into that. All you have to do is just get the house low enough to make sense. This house here is, then I'm gonna look at a 2-1, right? So 1,000 square feet. So with me going through this, scrolling over, look at the amount, I'm seeing what stuff sold for, right? 235, 235. This doesn't help me. Of course, I can't use the commercial property. I'm like, yo, these comps don't help me, because at 235, the seller was stuck and adamant about 175. They were adamant about that, and I'm like, bro, oh man, this is just not it. But then I came across this 3-2 with 1,200 square feet. Me being a little bit more experienced, there was a way you can change this into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And I'm like, man, if you could do that, you probably can push $300,000. I used that 315 one, and I used this one from October on English Drive that sold for $300,000. Looks like that one was a 2-1.5, 1,052 square feet. So I said to myself, I say, yo, if this is done right, what do I mean by done right? Fixed up right, the person could put 300. So I got the property under, you know what I mean, contract for $175,000. The house needed every bit of $60,000, right? So let me show you this, and I'm gonna show you, in Charlotte, people are typically buying at 75. So let me show you something, right? So let's say we seen the sale for 315, we seen the sale for 300. So let's take the sale for 300,000, all right? We're gonna take the low number. I like to use the low number because I wanna make sure that I'm right, worst case scenario, times 0.75, all right? Now, the national rule of thumb is 70%, but not everybody buys at 70%. Now, some of you are like, what's the 70% rule? Well, an investor wants to be all in at 70% or 75%. So there's a 30% margin or 25% margin of error in case he wants to refinance, in case he wants to sell it and make money, you know, sell it. As investors, we all want good deals. Who doesn't want a good deal? All right, so they want to be all in on this property at $225,000. I'm getting it for $175. I'm trying to sell it for $185. Now, let's look at the numbers, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do is, if I'm trying to get it at $185, all right, and plus 60,000, that puts them at $245. Remember the number we just had. So they're at $245, but remember this. Let me do this math to get this straight. Okay, so they need to be all in at $225. I got them all in at $245. So there's a discrepancy, right? It's not meeting the national rule of thumb. But this is when you have insider knowledge. Insider knowledge is, in Charlotte, there's a shortage of deals. So being that there's a shortage of deals, that means that people might be willing to pay more. So, and I gotta hope. But the reason why I took this risk on getting this under contract is because of sometimes the flipper is the contractor. So would it cost me $60,000, he could get done on 35 or 40. Okay, so what I did, I went out and took the risk. I got it under contract from the seller for $175, shot it out for $185,000. Now, what happened? I got somebody on the hook for $185,000, and I showed you the numbers. The numbers don't work from this standpoint of traditional real estate of the miles you need to be at. But what happened? The cash buyer was also the contractor and said, yo, I'm doing 70% of the work. The work I'm not doing, I gotta call the electrician. I gotta call the plumber. But everything else is what I'm doing, so I save money there. And that's what he did. He got it, and he did a hard money loan and got approved. We closed on it. So, and I made $10,000. But I wanted to do a live deal analyst on this because not every deal is going to meet the traditional wholesaling box. Sometimes you got to take that risk and throw it out there and see what sticks. I tell my students that all the time. You know, maybe it doesn't work, but you're not far off. Because hypothetically speaking, let's say that the buyer, I was at 175, and the highest offer I got was $165,000. Well, I got to go back to the seller and say, listen, we got to do this at 160. That's my final offer. We're going to close on Friday if you can do it. And they say, yeah, nay. But sometimes that just have to be the situation. But that's a live deal on how I made $10,000, man, just like that, man. You know, and you see me walk through the numbers and break it down. So everything doesn't have to fit in a traditional box. Sometimes you just got to take risks and you'll get it done. Now, before I let you go, man, always consult local real estate experts so they can give you the insider knowledge in that particular market. How do you do that? Man, start going to meetings, start networking with people, build relationships. Don't be one of those people that ask, build relationships, do things for other people, etc. Serve, okay? What I want, right, I'm gonna give you a 10-step PDF on how to get started wholesaling houses so that you can go out there and make $10K. All right, so listen, I'm Nasa, AKA the real estate guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a guru because I actually do this business. Peace.